Have you ever wondered why, in the middle of this rushed world, the Japanese still manage to keep their calm and their remarkable longevity? While the rest of us race harder and grow more exhausted, they remain composed and at ease. The secret isn't in their genes or some miracle. It's hidden in micro habits, extremely small actions, repeated persistently, creating a massive compound effect over a lifetime. The Japanese don't believe in overnight transformations. Their philosophy is to live slowly and fine-tune things little by little. It's enough that today is just a bit better than yesterday. In this video, we'll explore the full set of habits and core life philosophies of the Japanese to understand why things that seem trivial can completely change the fate of a person. Let's dive in right now. Habit 1. Kaizen, the art of small steps. Kaizen is a term you probably heard often in business management, but its essence in personal life is much softer and deeper. Put simply, Kaizen means that each day you only need to do a little bit better than yesterday. No need for revolutions, no need for slogans of grand determination to change your fate. Just inch forward a small step, and that's enough. The Japanese mindset here is quite interesting. They don't ask, how do I change my whole life right now? Instead, they ask themselves, is there one small detail I can fix today? That could just be tidying up the shoes at the door a little better, cutting out one unnecessary motion at work, or simply finding a way to wash dishes that's less tiring on the back. Each of these changes is so small, it's almost invisible, but precisely because it's small, it's easy to do and easy to sustain. When repeated continuously, the accumulated results create considerable power. If you apply Kaizen to self-development, don't rush to vow to yourself, starting tomorrow, I'll work out for a full hour every day. Chances are, after 3 days of sore muscles, you'll give up. Instead, use the Kaizen mindset. Just do one movement, one push-up, one squat, or simply a minute of stretching. Because it's so easy, your brain has no reason to resist or procrastinate. And the magic is that once you've started doing that tiny little thing, momentum carries you forward. Reading is similar. Don't set a lofty goal like finishing a chapter in a week. Set a goal of reading just one page. After a year, you'll be astonished to find you finished a whole stack of thick books, all while your mind stayed completely relaxed. Kaizen doesn't force you to become a genius overnight. It only guarantees that you'll never stand still. You don't need to wait for a surge of motivation. You just need to show up every day and be 1% better than yesterday. No one, not even you, notices the change in the short term. But one fine day, you look back and realize you've traveled a very long distance. Kaizen doesn't promise quick riches. It only makes one commitment. If you don't stop, you will surely move forward. Habit 2. Ikigai, searching for a reason to wake up. Ikigai is often translated as reason for being. Understand it in a more down-to-earth way. It's the thing that makes you excited to open your eyes each morning without feeling like life is meaningless. In Japan, especially in the Okinawa region, home to the highest concentration of long-lived people in the world, nearly every elderly person has their own Ikigai. It doesn't have to be a grand career or a mission to save the world. Some elderly people wake up just to tend the potted plants on their porch. Some find joy in teaching their grandchildren. Others spend their time meticulously crafting a handmade item without intending to sell it to anyone. From the outside, these things look simple, but it's precisely these small things that anchor their souls, giving them the feeling that they're still useful, still valuable, and still needed by life. For many people, Ikigai is simply getting to do what you like, in the way you believe is right. The problem for most of us today is that we've never truly sat down and seriously asked ourselves what we want. We live according to a program, only to one day realize we're standing amid a vast emptiness without understanding why. Start with everyday questions. What do I like doing most when no one is forcing me? What makes me lose track of time and not feel tired? What am I good at that friends often ask me for help with? Once you begin wrestling with these questions, Ikigai will gradually emerge from the fog. And once you've found it, each morning when you wake up, your shoulders will feel much lighter. Habit 3. Hara Hachi Bu, the art of eating just enough. The principle means eat until you feel about 80% full, then stop, rather than eating until your stomach is completely stuffed. The scientific basis lies in the body's delay. Our stomach and brain aren't connected instantly. Once the stomach is full, it takes about 20 minutes to send the signal up to the brain. So if you keep eating continuously until you feel completely stuffed, you've actually already consumed more than necessary. Day after day, the body becomes heavier and the internal organs are forced to overwork. Hara Hachi Bu isn't a harsh diet. It only asks you to change the way you eat, more slowly, listening to your body more carefully. Instead of eating while scrolling on your phone or watching TV, Japanese people give their full attention to the meal. They chew thoroughly and occasionally pause mid-meal to ask themselves whether they're truly still hungry. You don't need to completely cut out your favorite foods. Just eat a little slower and give your body time to send back its signal. Stopping at around 80% keeps the body light and the mind clear and alert after a meal, rather than falling into a state of a bloated stomach and sluggish drowsiness. Habit 4. Shinrin Yoku, bathing in the forest. Shinrin Yoku, also known as forest bathing, is simply walking into nature, moving very slowly, breathing a little more deeply, and allowing your mind to fully rest. In Japan, it's taken so seriously that some doctors actually prescribe it to their patients as a natural remedy to heal psychological issues and stress. When you're near nature, breathing fresh air that contains phytoncides released by trees, your heart rate automatically slows, your blood pressure stabilizes, and your brain escapes its constant state of alertness and anxiety. You don't need to live next to a primeval forest to practice this. A small park near your home is enough. The secret isn't in the location, but in your complete presence while you're there. Try taking a walk without earphones, without your phone in hand. Just walk slowly, opening up all your senses. Look at the green of the leaves, listen to the rustling of the wind. Shinrin Yoku might not help you finish your work faster right away, but it helps your soul feel lighter. Habit 5. Wabi-sabi, the beauty of imperfection. While the whole world races to look flawless, editing every photo until no imperfection remains, Wabi-sabi gently whispers that imperfection is fine. In fact, imperfection is the real beauty. In Japan, a teacup with a chipped rim isn't tossed straight into the trash. Items bearing clear traces of time are cherished because they carry a story. People are the same. A scar on the body, wrinkles at the corners of the eyes, or past mistakes aren't flaws that need to be hidden. They're living proof that you have lived and made it through life's ups and downs. Wabi-sabi reminds you that each person has their own rhythm of growth, and it's precisely those irregularities that create your unique identity. When you learn to accept that all things in the world are impermanent and imperfect, the invisible pressure on your shoulders naturally dissolves. Progress can be messy, life can be unfinished, but that doesn't diminish your worth as a person. Habit 6. Gaman, enduring with composure and dignity. Gaman is loosely understood as endurance, but with composure, patience, and preserved dignity. It's the attitude of not complaining loudly and not letting negative emotions drag you around. The spirit of Gaman is simply an acceptance of reality. This period is truly difficult, but I can still keep moving forward. Gaman doesn't tell you to pretend to be a stronger stone. You have every right to feel sad, to feel tired, to feel discouraged, but you must not let those emotions become your identity. In modern life, Gaman shows up most often in quiet moments that no one applauds you for, those dull, repetitive days at work, the times you've given your all, and the results still haven't come. Instead of constantly complaining or beating yourself up, a person with the spirit of Gaman chooses to quietly do their part well, bit by bit. The less you complain, the less you feel like a pitiful victim. And in the darkest moments of life, sometimes simply not collapsing is already a tremendous victory. Habit 7. Omoyari, thinking of others. Omoyari can be understood as thoughtfulness, knowing how to think of others before acting. It begins with a very short question: is what I'm about to do going to cause trouble or a negative effect on someone else? If you ever visit Japan, you'll notice an astonishing sense of order. People speak very softly in public, lines are neat, and everyone consistently cleans up after themselves. Deep in their subconscious, they always hold the belief that their individual actions affect the community. Before you turn up music loudly, try to think about whether your neighbor might need to rest. Before you stand blocking a walkway, take a look around to see if anyone needs to pass through. These actions are extremely small, but when everyone is conscious of doing them, the living environment naturally becomes more pleasant. The interesting paradox is that once you start practicing the habit of thinking of others, you yourself feel lighter and happier. Habit 8. Kintsugi, the beauty of mending. Kintsugi is the Japanese art of repairing ceramics. When a prize bowl breaks, Japanese artisans use lacquer mixed with gold, silver, or platinum powder to bond the broken pieces back together. The cracks become shimmering golden veins, the most striking feature of the piece. Kintsugi is a metaphor for how the Japanese view human life. Every one of us at some point will break, from career failures, from the collapse of a relationship, from periods of crisis. But breaking doesn't mean you become worthless. What matters most is which attitude you choose to face those broken pieces with. Kintsugi teaches us to cherish those wounds. It's precisely those cracks that helped build the mature person you are today. When you learn to accept and mend yourself instead of blaming yourself, your wounds transform into life experience, into inner resilience. Never be ashamed of your scars. They aren't signs of weakness, but medals proving that you were once wounded, yet you survived, and you continue to rise. Habit 9. Mottainai, not wasting, cherishing all things. Mottainai is often translated as, what a waste, but its meaning runs deeper than saving money. It expresses gratitude for all things, believing that everything, from a grain of rice to time and effort, has its own value. Before throwing something away, a Japanese person will ask themselves whether it could still be used for something else. Old clothes can become cleaning rags. Leftover food gets turned into a new dish. This mindset is respect for the labor of the person who made the product and reverence for the earth's resources. Mottainai also applies to intangible values like time and opportunity. Don't waste time on pointless arguments. Don't waste the chance to say words of love to someone close to you. Living with the spirit of Mottainai means living mindfully, being grateful for the present. Habit 10. Ohana wa kurabenai. No comparison, everyone has their own beauty. Each flower has its own blooming season, its own beauty, its own fragrance. The plum blossom doesn't envy the cherry blossom. We humans are just like those flowers. The greatest tragedy of this era is the culture of comparison. We scroll through social media and see peers buying houses, getting promoted, taking luxurious trips. Then we look back at ourselves and feel inferior. This philosophy reminds us that each person has a different time zone for success. You don't need to bloom at the same time as someone else. The fact that you haven't succeeded yet doesn't mean you've failed. It simply means your season hasn't come yet. Focus on your own development. Cherish what you already have. Be patient, put in the effort, and trust that when the time comes, you will bloom in the most brilliant way, exactly true to who you are. Habit 11. Shoshin, always keeping a beginner's mind. Shoshin is rooted in Japanese Zen Buddhism, meaning beginner's mind. No matter how long you've done a job, Shoshin advises you to always view things with clear, curious, and open eyes, just as you did on the very first day. The greatest enemy of growth isn't ignorance, it's the illusion of already knowing. When we think we already know everything, we stop listening, stop observing, and begin judging everything based on old experience. This makes you conservative, stagnant, and it robs you of creativity. A black belt martial artist still enters the training hall with a bowed head, ready to learn. When you hold on to Shoshin, you'll no longer be afraid of making mistakes, no longer afraid of asking silly questions, because a beginner has every right to be wrong in order to grow. As Steve Jobs put it, stay hungry, stay foolish. Habit 12. Mono no aware, a wistful awareness of impermanence. Mono no aware is often understood as a poignant awareness of things, or a wistful ache at the fleeting beauty of life. If you've ever wondered why the Japanese love cherry blossoms so much, even though they bloom brilliantly for only a few days before withering away, The answer lies in mono no aware. Everything in this world is impermanent. Nothing lasts forever. Youth will pass. Passionate love will eventually settle into calm, joyful moments, will eventually end. Rather than fearing separation or endings, Mono No Aware advises us to allow ourselves to feel moved, even a little sad, at that passing. It's precisely because we know that flower will fall, that we cherish every second it's in bloom. Living with the spirit of Mono No Aware means living deeply. You become more sensitive to the changing of the 4 seasons. You cherish holding someone's hand, understanding that nothing is ever guaranteed. Happiness doesn't lie in trying to hold on forever, but in the ability to fully feel the beauty of the present, no matter how fleeting it may be. Our journey through these 12 habits and life philosophies of the Japanese is now complete. Together we've gone through invaluable lessons: small effort, a reason for living; moderate eating, forest bathing, accepting imperfection, resilient endurance, thoughtfulness for others, mending wounds, cherishing all things, not comparing yourself to others, humility, and gentle courage in the face of impermanence. All these unfamiliar words revolve around one single core axis: the art of mindful living, of cherishing yourself, and of living in harmony with the world around you. These habits don't promise to turn you into a billionaire overnight, but they promise something far more precious: a peaceful soul and a life rich with meaning. Don't try to apply all of them at once. Choose the one that moves your heart the most right now and start practicing it starting tomorrow. Just one small change, but if it's in the right direction, it can lead you to very distant horizons. If this video has given you a new perspective, a bit of peace, or some motivation, don't hesitate to subscribe, hit like, and share it with the people you love. Thank you for taking your precious time to listen to these thoughts. May you always keep a pure beginner's mind and find your own brilliant Ikigai. Goodbye, and see you in the next video.